obligated to act in the national interest. Their actions must be guided only by the desire to preserve and promote the ethnic lifeway of our people.
The traditions of the German fraternities also draw on the ethno-nationalist and anti-Semitic ideologies of the 1920s and 30s. Then as now, fraternities serve as a breeding ground for radical right-wing parties and think tanks, and for the whole right-wing apparatus.
The German fraternities are still the elite schools of Germany's extreme right. Their traditions are unchanged. But how much of this ethno-nationalist ideology still remains? We meet the fraternity's spokesman Philip Stein in Halle.
What I want is for peoples and populations to preserve their relative homogeneity, their traditions.
How's that different from Nazi racial theory?
Wow, racial theory is based on something very different.
Stay out, turn it out,
Ethnicity
you
doesn't mean
rotate
everyone is blonde,
yourself.
everyone has beautiful straight teeth, or a particular shape of skull. A people is made up of a variety of
There you
qualities
go
that
now,
have evolved
fucking
organically over the
piss
centuries.
off, Mason.
I'm asking about this tradition of racial theory because it also involves the sphere of intermingling.
Just like fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger, just come on for half an hour. Cause my phone keeps on dying on me, I'm a fucking idiot, you know?
And religious confession are some of the things that
Fucking
define
chest is hurting like a
And
motherfucker.
of course, kinship and
Ah,
identity
it's very
includes
tender
some
right
things that
down, man. It's like somebody fucking broke me rib or something. Right down. And it feels like it's bruised, but there's no fucking bruise. You know what I mean? Yeah. Music is fucking brilliant, man. Just as good as cold water therapy. Yeah. Oh, that's right. There's a few new things on Netflix that I want today. I'm gonna watch. Nah, just getting back to like last night's carnage, you know, like it's not nice to see, right? But that's a part of the community that's foil, and if the truth be told, loads of us go into every different channel, but bro, I swear on my brothers and sisters' ashes, I don't really go into people's lives. The odd time I'll go in and say hello, and you know, it's nice to be nice when in Rome. As they say, touche, que sera, sera, quid pro quo. You gotta go. You have to go.
Hey, I've got a new case.
And if you've gotta go, it's because you know. You know what I mean? This ain't no circus, it ain't no show.
But I've been told he has a history of violence.
But I tell you what, Raymond, have no fear, man, cause Jude's here, and I have my bow. Like Robin fucking Hood, bro. Out! Arrows loose! Oh, been waiting on this. It's called hang on, Ray. It's called me motherfucking batteries are dead. Just like that bee. Fucking finished. History. It is called Missing Dead or Alive, episode 1. I watch a lot of mad shit, Ray. I watch a lot of stuff about psychology and about what drives men to commit heinous crimes against humanity, against women, kids. You know, like I said, there's rules in our society, you know, and there's rules everywhere, right? You put your hands on a woman, you sexually assault a woman in the community, yeah. Dealing with the feds, it'd be the least of your worries. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of survivors in life, and motherfuckers can tip them over the edge, you know. I'll be honest with you, the shocking truth is, loads of yous are enabling these fuckers because And I can even fall in that category sometimes because
Do you know a neighbor, Lorraine Garcia?
people I thought were noble and I thought were stand-up guys, if you want to put it that way, they're not. They're just like all the rest. They used to say, I'll never be like that channel or that channel, and now it's sad to say, listen, I'm not knocking any individual channels, but what I will say is, your channels are breeding ground for trolls, and whether you know it or not, your trolls are bullying vulnerable people. But when these people are putting money in your accounts, like buying your coffee, let's say, or even becoming a member of that channel, when in Rome, right? Skills always in session, right? What's a coffee here and there?
That's her.
You sit and watch. Pay for the courtesy.
Sheriff Department.
Yeah, Sheriff Department, that's what we need on YouTube. Here, I don't mind putting in for the job, yeah. Just give me a flamethrower and I'll burn this place. Like that. Yeah, I'll do it. Just give me a flamethrower. We'll be out of here quick. You see me coming with a flamethrower, go the other way. Because I'm prepared to die. So I hope you're prepared to kill. You know, that kind of way. If you want to, for stupid people, intelligent people, put it in a metaphor. See me, I'd set myself ablaze in order for my family to be warm. Okay? Now, we're talking metaphors.
It's clear.
There's no stronger emotion than love. It's a wonderful thing, you should let it in your life.
What is that?
How can you say you're noble and you know quite well you're taking money off vulnerable people? Now this is saying that a few channels, you know what I mean, yous are abusers,
Yeah, this is really
you know, yous are just as worse because you're still pocketing money. You might turn around and say, oh, I don't like bullies and I don't want this on my platform, da 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 da. But you're still taking money off vulnerable people because you're selfish cunts and all you care about is dollar, dollar, dollar. You know. How about changing your dollar, dollar, dollar narrative into scholar, scholar, scholar narrative? Do something, you know, you don't even do nothing for your community. Fuck off with that shit. Know what I mean? You aren't my kind of men. You know. Nah, fuck that shit. I seen that carry on going on the cesspit was the first to jump because it become a breeding ground for trolls. And I'm not knocking Matthew. I'm just saying, here, you light a fire and it gets out of control and you can't put that fire out. Here, that's on you. I jumped off the cesspit first because it turned into a crock of shit.
I've worked murders, kidnappings.
The famous cesspit has turned to a crock of shit.
But the idea that you can
That's what I was thinking. Now, I'm not saying now, back then that's what I was thinking. I was like, here, I'm nobody's wingman. Fuck that. And Matthew does work hard and, you know, fucking, you know, I've no emotion to any of these guys on here. I don't like them and I don't dislike them. You know, that kind of way. I don't want to be your friend. You know, like, and yeah, I salute people that make content because you make a lot of lonely people happy. You know, but when you start fucking taking advantage of lonely people and their vulnerabilities, that's a fucking liberty where I'm from. You know, listen, at least I have the bollocks to say it, and sorry, I fucking called Dave Smithers, John Bleeding Smithers earlier on. But what he said, and anyway, listen, we're supposed to be teaching the next generation of fucking youth, yeah? It's like, and if you're fucking You come from a home where you see your dad beating the shit out of your man. You go out onto the street to play with your mates. You take it out on the streets. A lot of people, you know what, yeah? Because there's a lot of fucking role models in jail. And then they look up to their pappy. And then they go and start living on the road. You understand? Doing things that if you fucking get caught, you're going to jail. Like, not a joke thing, a big bad man thing. You know what I mean? When you're on the road and all that nonsense, you understand? Like I said, it's a multicultural city. Jamaicans, Albanians, Russians, Chechens. A hell of a lot of Muslims I have around me. And a couple of Albanians. But like I said, it doesn't matter where you're from, but there's a lot of Muslims in Manchester, I know that. And the Scousers and the Muslims run the jail. There. Everybody knows that.
When is the last time that you talked to her?
The amount of young men now that are converting to Islam. Islam has become the new vegan.
Is that the one that was living with her, Anthony?
A life choice.
Okay, and
Diets.
that's your husband?
Sacrifices.
Is Tony still
Prayers.
out at the address?
5 times a day.
When you talked to her then,
Facing
what did she
that
say?
away.
Okay.
When in Rome, like I said, school's always in session. I learn every day, me. I don't know about you, but that's the punishment I give myself for my son seeing me in prison. Now, even though I got him across the line, I'll always be hard on myself for that still. You know what I mean? And it keeps me grounded. You know, and I was a 1%er who got away with his credibility intact. I might have a couple of war wounds, but I'm here, you know. It's like, others aren't, and that's on them. You know, so you should enjoy your time on here. You know, I don't mean YouTube, I mean life. You know, because you can go through life trying to bury your past, and your past can bury you. You know, I tried to do it all my life because it's ashamed. You know, my lad went to uni, I don't want my kids. Did you sell drugs, Dad? Did you do this, Dad? And YouTube exposed my children to that. My children knew nothing about my past. Only for YouTube and going on the cesspit, my kids heard everything about what I used to do. And I'm supposed to protect them. And Raymond, I did it all my life. Never raising me hand to a partner, bro, because I seen me dad kick fuck out of me, man. So I had to break that cycle of violence, right? And I have things in my life now that I didn't have last year or the year before. Well, one being me queen. Do you know what, Ray? Do you know it's the dream, bro, for me? And Ray, I've been around people, I've been around money, I've been around drugs, I've been around people, I have family that have portfolios of properties abroad. But you know what, Ray? I don't ask them for fucking that. I wouldn't ask them for that. Do you understand? Kind of way. You can choose your friends, right? Yeah. Family. Fuck's sake, man. They say charity starts at home. Okay? I've uncles that are millionaires, mate, and you know what? I wouldn't ask them for that.
Thank God, it's just a storage room. Wonder what's in all those boxes.
Why would I ask them for a ring? They don't owe me fuck all. You know.
Well, there's paperwork. But that's a bank account. We can follow up on
You
that.
try make your own life and your own way, and sometimes you take the biggest risk of your life. And if I hadn't gotten away when I did, the statistics were I was either gonna go back to jail, reoffend,
How bizarre.
overdose, or get shot like a dog.
This was her room.
And
It opens to the inside, but look.
I knew where it was going.
Multiple times.
You see, I see things before they happen. And I was trying to think of myself where I'm going to be in 5 years. Not here. So I made a G call, Ray, and I got the fuck out of Dodge. You know, with a couple of souvenirs. But I got away with me life and me integrity intact. You know, my kneecaps would say different. And the bone would come out, but that's a constant reminder. You know, you're always that close away from that light. You open your door, Ray. Look, bro, I want 200 in the building, done. You know how the roads work, bro. Risky roads, done.
What was on the content that caused someone to want to burn it and try to destroy it?
You know, but you get characters that have characteristics, and let's say they would have has been, right, like myself. Like pains away and never letting you forget. And I've had friends die basically in my arms, 2 of them, in the same fucking year, right? One of them was stabbed in the chest, pierced his heart, and the other one fell over a fucking chestnut tree. Mad. I had a mate cut out of a car. I'm gonna say cut out of a car, I mean bits of him cut off the interior.
The idea of solving mysteries.
You know, I've had mates that have had crashes, bad crashes.
She was like,
I had this one mate from near where I live, right? And he was getting chased by the fucking police, bro. And he tried to take a corner at 100 miles an hour, yeah? He got ejected out of the car, he'd no seatbelt on, the fucking idiot, yeah? And the next time I seen him, Raymond, he had a scaffolding on his head. Do you understand? In a wheelchair, going all the way up his back, and I'm like, my man looks like Frankenstein. He had bolts in his head. I was like, you know, you could wire this cunt up to a car battery and he'd spark like fuck. I'm telling you, he had bolts in his head, bro. Frankenstein. My man was a real living Frankenstein. And bro, you could have supported a full house on that scaffolding that he had on his neck.
so you took her to the hospital.
You know, how do you sleep like that?
What was the problem?
And he's paralyzed, he's paraplegic, right?
To make them give her her medicine.
All because of that. A calculation, a risk he took at 100 miles an hour, right? If he had a dropping down in gear, taking his foot off the accelerator at 80, whipping, no problem. 100 miles an hour, you are flipping.
You could look where.
Multiple times, right? He come out of the car, man. He come out with like a jack in the box, bro. That's exactly how he come out.
I was missing. Is there a reason you didn't file a police report?
He's very lucky the car didn't land on him.
I feel like you're interrogating me.
It was like a murder scene, right?
These questions are really
You
important
know.
for us to find your mom.
He didn't just hurt himself, he injured like fucking about 6 other people, 3 of them being feds, and 3 of them being bystanders, 2 of them walking a fucking dog, bro, and the car flipped, the dog got squished, and its owner ended up barking like a dog, because they were trapped under a car. Strangers, right, pass or boys. You know, could be you walking out your fucking door, bro. You know, stopping to ask someone for a light, and this prick comes around the corner getting chased by the feds, bro. And, me, taking the roundabout, say, right? I wouldn't advise that at 100 miles an hour unless you shift straight back down into second or into first. It's like, and, me, just look. Meow. Bro, I drive backwards and I spin the car at 80 mile an hour. I drive forwards, I'd spin. Bro, at 80 mile an hour, I'd be able to drift 100 mile an hour. Some corners, that much of an error, and you're flipping the car. And especially if you get a little bit of a nudge off fucking the local fucking constabulary. Boom! Nowadays they're told to stand down. You know, they're told but at 100 mile an hour you don't, you overcompensate and you oversteer. And on that night, 3 passer boys got hit by a fucking car, you know, and a dog killed. And he ended up having a fucking scaffolding on his neck. So, everybody gets a nickname with me. I wouldn't call it original, but my man had bolts in his neck. So therefore, he's fucking Frankenstein. You know, a real living I used to take the piss, man. He used to say, Jude, don't make me laugh, I can't turn me head. I was like, Don, you can't turn or curl your big fucking toe, what are you on about? The only thing you can do is talk and blink, man. You know what I mean? You can't even walk, yeah. Hey, who's that? Hang on a minute. Alright, Tony, how's it going? But yeah, like I said, joyriding, you know, here. I know a lad right now, this is fucking tragic. Wait till you hear this. One of me pals, right? His big brother was getting chased through Ballyfermot years ago down on DC's Road now. Anybody from Ballyfermot will remember this, like fucking hell, man, jeez. Right. Anyway, Carl Cretan was getting chased by police through Ballyfermot, and in order to get away, he took a shortcut through 5 children. There was 2 ways. There was stop the fucking guy, but he chose not to, and he ploughed between 5 children. He sent 3 of them flying in the air. It's like killed 2 of them instantly, or 3 of them, and 2 are critical. 1 is paraplegic. I think 2 of them died instantly. You know, he went missing. Now when I say missing, I mean SOS. You know. Jesus Christ, man. Yeah, he ran through 5 kids, man. Getting chased by the police years ago. We didn't look in our mirrors, we looked behind us. You know what I mean? Depending, because if there's like 5, 6 cars behind you, there's no point looking in your fucking mirror. You know that they are, you know. So you look over, and that's all it took. He turned over to look him, and he looked again. There was kids in his way. He didn't mean to do it, but he went through them, and 3 of them went up in the air. He killed 2 of them instantly. I think one of them had only made a Holy Communion, and she was out with her friends telling her about the amazing day she had. And he comes around the corner
This looks like a lot of pictures, actually.
at a very high speed, and
Are these things not important? Why did you not report your mom?
fast forward 30 years.
I'm asking you why you did it.
About 18 months, a kid on this avenue
Not under arrest.
off the block,
We need to speak with you at headquarters.
Taylor.
And we're taking your truck.
Right, wait till you hear this. He was fucking on the... Now, they put zebra crossings in and all now. It's too fucking late. It took a kid's fucking life for them to do this bullshit. So, where I live, right, over where the Townley pub is, this kid Taylor, he was fucking doing what any kid. I hate that shit. He was in the wrong place at the wrong time. He was in the right place at the wrong time, being a fucking kid. You know, See the kids around here, man, right? They love doing wheelies. You know, they get hooked on adrenaline before drugs. On quads, on 125s, 50cc's, right? This particular day he was on a BMX styler, yeah? He's going down the road, next of all, Mick hits him. Boom! Taylor goes flying up in the air. Comes down, hits the ground. Mick gets out of the car. I knew the guy that hit him and I knew the kid. He got out of the car. He picked Taylor up and placed him on the side of the road. Taylor was bleeding through his nose, his mouth, his ears, his head. So the fella put him on the side of the road. He probably injured him all by picking him up because the kid needed a spinal board. He picked him up, put him on the side of the road, drove to his daughter's house for a half an hour, and then went and handed himself in. Because if he didn't hand himself in, the housing estate would have killed him. You know, I'd have killed him with me bare fucking hands because I didn't like him in all fairness. I was looking for an excuse to kill the cunt. And loads of us wanted him. But look, I can't imagine being in a situation like where you lose your focus. Next of all, you'd know there's a kid going flying up in the air and his bike as well. And you know, it broke me heart, yeah. Words travelled fast around the housing estate. I went down there, yeah, and there was a cordon, a police cordon, and have a guess was watching in the middle of the road. His little cap and his fucking BMX, man. His BMX was crushed like a can. Now I don't mean, I might be exaggerating when I say crushed, but the front wheel was fucking, so like I said, you can imagine if a car can do that with steel. And see that bastard corner, yeah? It's dangerous. I've been saying it for years. Someone's gonna have a serious accident there, and it took a kid's life off this housing estate. Taylor, rest in peace, little man. You know, and I hope City do it for us this year. Alright, Robert, how's it going? But this is what I'm saying, community spirit. A fucking wreck this community, you know, and like we all try to donate a bit of money, you know what I mean? I threw a few quid in, so did the boys in fairness. Cause his ma hadn't got a lot, she wasn't insured. So the three pubs around here all had like a big bucket with Taylor's face on, and within a week we'd raised about nearly 8,000. I think we were about 200 short of £8,000. Now that was the whole community, like, and the three local pubs. But it was fucking sad, hey bro, about little Taylor. I was just saying about the community, man. Like, all of us put money in, like something, you know, and that's all she was interested in, was the fucking money, demanding it. I want the donation money. You know, the community are burying your son, and all you're asked about is the fucking, you know what I mean, how fucking cheeky is that? You know, he's a lovely little lad, like, cause he's Danny Boy's fucking best mate. You know, me little fucking neighbour's best mate, you know. And I used to see him pulling wheelies going up and down the road on that bike. And when I went down there and there was a crime scene, cordoned off, little man's BMX and his little hat was still on the road. And bro, I always said, you see down that where that corner whips at the pub, the speed that they go, and I said for years, some cunt's gonna get killed there.
There's a stop sign, I keep telling people.
Yeah man, need more than a fucking zebra crossing. I didn't like him, Mick. You know what I mean? But like, in all fairness bro, imagine hitting a kid though. and picking him up now. He's a father as well, and that's why, bro, he went to see his daughter for half an hour and handed himself in, because he knew, bro, what this community would do to him. You know, like I said, Raymond, I can't even imagine what it'd be like to do that, you know. Alright, Robert, I hope you're feeling alright, lad. Yeah, I'm not going into it, but I have respect for Robert, man, for what he said yesterday. I'm not going into it because it's none of anyone's business. School's always in session, and if you don't listen, that's your own fault. But I do want to shout out to YouTube, and the people need to be very, very careful what they're saying about disabilities and making jokes about children and labels, and don't mention autism to me in a bad light, because at the end of the day, it's not, there's no compromises when it comes to labels, especially when we're talking about children. Do you understand? There's lines you do not cross, and people crossed the line last night. Really crossed the line as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I've no time for anybody like that, and I will not support anybody like that. Irish, English, I don't give a fuck where you're from, but especially if you're Irish, I'm sorry, yeah, I'm not on any ship, but I had to jump from one toxic platform. And shout out to all the tough guys on YouTube who think certain things are funny. You just have to be very careful what you're saying, because it's not making you look like a nice guy. And if all the nice guys and all the noble God-fearing men on YouTube, why don't you put something back into your community? You know, and do it for free. Don't ask for a salary. I done it voluntary. You know why? Because of humanitarian. That's why. For the love of the people. For the love of me community. For the love of prosperity. You know, help people. Do something. You know. If I can do something in me community, some of yous could. You know, there's carnage going on the streets of the UK right now. And YouTube has turned into men getting involved in women's work. Like, you know what I mean? And it's bullshit. But anyway, listen, I have to end this live. There's no solution without confrontation. My phone's gonna die. Shout out to YouTube's Coffee Nation. I'll be back later on, guys. What? What do you want to charge? What's going on? Hang on, what's up on the phone? No, don't do this. How can I end it? Live, my battery's about to die. I'll be back later. God bless you all. There's no solution without